Hello and welcome to the United Stand. This is the United Stand. It is Sunday Night Live / Manchester United versus Valerenga match reaction. We always do Sunday Night Live at 8:30, so we're combining that with the game that's just finished when Manchester United beat Valerenga 3-0. We're going to be talking Matic. That's massive news. We'll be talking Matic and what I believe is going to be a big week for Manchester United. Some controversial points, but it's what I think, and I think United fans have different opinions, so that's what that's all about. But let's talk about this game against Valerenga very quickly and summarise that. So I wasn't very happy with the team. I wasn't happy with the first half team. Really didn't see what the point was, but the second half I did. First half, bit of a boring team. Phil Jones, Carrick and Fellaini in the midfield, very static. Mata and Mkhitaryan as wingers. Rashford isolated, Pogba isolated. A pretty dull half, but we did win it 1-0 with a cross and a Fellaini deflected header. But all in all, grinding out, never looked like conceding. Typical United team. And Valerenga were probably the equivalent of MK Dons. I'd say League One standard at best. And a poor first half with static football and that boring 4-3-3. Second half, he not only did he bring some very exciting players on, he changed the formation. We went to 3-5-2. We had Smalling and we had Lindelof in the back with Twansibi and Fosu Mensah. We had a midfield three of Herrera, Pereira, and we had Dimitri Mitchell as the left wing back, Pereira, Pogba and Herrera, and up front we had Lukaku with Martial off him. And straight away, better, more attacking players, more exciting players, but the formation suited as well. We win the game overall 3-0, 2-0 in the second half with goals from Lukaku and McTominay. But brilliant, the second goal. Fantastic cross from Pereira and Lukaku strongly heading home. The third goal, McTominay putting it in after a persevering run from Martial. I think overall, first half, very hard to pick a man of the match out for United. I thought it was a very uninspiring half. I like Mkhitaryan. What a waste he is as a left winger. I thought he was very poor in that position. I don't think it was a very good performance at all in the first half. I think it was very dull. I'd be quite happy to let someone like Carrick have man of the match. It was that bad. Nothing really happening. Second half, really good. Really good performance. And Valerenga kept mainly the same sort of players on, so it was the same sort of level. And Andres Pereira, I just think he's a fantastic talent. He's got to be involved next season. I think he can force his way into first team football. He is that good. We cannot loan him, but on the other hand, we cannot let him be like Fosu Mensah last year, where he's getting a couple of minutes here and there. He's got to be involved. And the one thing I think that will make Mourinho's ears prick up is that dead ball capability. He's got a wicked shot cross on him, and I think that's invaluable. We're rubbish at corners. We've now got somebody who can deliver a good corner, and we do have players who can get on the end of it, whether it's Bailly, Smalling, Lukaku, even Pogba. So Pereira needs to be involved for me. I thought Martial was fantastic. I'm going to give Anthony Martial man of the match, because this is what my point is about Martial. It's not about going past 4 or 5 players and scoring a goal like he did on his debut. It's about everything else. It's about breaking of the play, the running with the ball, the passing. I think in that support striker role, which he did in the second half, he was fantastic. And he was very good in that role against, was it LA Galaxy on the US tour? I might have got that wrong, but he was very good. I think Martial has to have man of the match. He was really good. I like Lukaku. Mitchell and Fosu Mensah did good jobs without, I don't think they're going to force, not performances to force your way into the first team plans, but they did well. But Pereira, for me, I think, and Herrera as well deserves a shout out, because this is where we've got problems. Centre defensive midfielder, you're putting Carrick and Fellaini together. As I said on the watch along, it is like watching a dead hippo swim through porridge. Slow, lethargic, boring. You get Herrera on. I think Herrera is better further forward, but he can do that centre defensive midfielder's role where he picks up the ball and he feeds the ball quickly, and the game changes. So it was a bit of a nothing game. I don't know why we were playing the game in Norway, other than why not, but it didn't make a hell of a lot of sense. I think Dublin, Sampdoria on Wednesday, better opposition, closer to the Super Cup. 2 weeks today we play West Ham. But the second half made it worthwhile for me. It was a good second half to watch. I enjoyed it. I'm not going to fall into traps. I was saying this in the watch along as well. Fellaini scored a goal. Wow. Does that mean Fellaini's a good player? No, it doesn't. McTominay scores a goal. Does that mean he's a good player? No, it doesn't. We need to be deeper than that. I think we fall into that trap too easy. Someone scores a goal, so they're a worthwhile player and they're a good player. Scoring a goal doesn't take away from the last 44 minutes before that where you did next to nothing and you don't contribute anything. For me, I would love it if Fellaini left Manchester United, but it won't happen. Let's talk about Matic and let's get into the Sunday night show. That's what we're here to do. It's Sunday night live. We merge into the match reaction now. So let's talk about Sunday night live. Let's talk about the big story for Manchester United today, which is the headline: Matic to Manchester United transfer done. Tomorrow morning, I think it will be announced. I think Matic to Manchester United tomorrow morning is going to be announced. He will be a Manchester United player. It's probably the worst kept secret ever that he will sign for Manchester United. And somebody could say, I've got to read this comment here from Venturasi before we get on to Matic. He says, McTominay is good. He needs a proper chance. On what grounds can you say that, mate? He is 6'4", 20 years old, slow. He scored a decent chance, but apart from that, I thought he was bang average. I thought he was bang average on the US tour, and I think his level is going to be Preston North End. That is his level. We sold Josh Harrop this summer to Preston North End. He scored a fantastic goal against Premier League opposition and is a real talent, and we let him go. We've let people like Robbie Brady go. Fantastic talents, good Premier League, lower Premier League players, we let them go. I see nothing in Scott McTominay that makes me think he's anywhere near a Premier League player, let alone a Manchester United player. I hope he has a great career, but this goes back to what's talking about in the watch-along. What are our standards as Manchester United fans now? He scores a goal and everyone says, oh, he's a great talent. Watch the game. Watch what he did in the US tour. Watch what he did towards the end of next season. Very, very average, very slow midfielder, and not Manchester United quality for me. And I'm happy to say that live on air. And you can disagree with me if you like, but I guarantee I'll be proved right on that. I said Josh Harrop would never play for United again after the Palace game, not because he wasn't a good player, but just because I never thought he would. And I think Mourinho is only picking McTominay because he's 6'4". There's better midfielders than him in our youth setup, but I think McTominay gets picked because he's 6'4". So I've had my play on that. And as Michael Catton said, Robbie Brady is excellent. Robbie Brady was a fantastic player, but you've got to be a certain sort of player for United, I feel. Oh my goodness, United live forever. I hope this is banter. He says, Mark, you're describing a young Michael Carrick with McTominay. God, Jesus, standards are dropping. Standards are really dropping. McTominay's a young Michael Carrick. I tell you what, I'll eat my shoes, my jumper, my vest, my pants if he gets anywhere near a Premier League player. You can keep that comment. You can keep it. I hope he has a good championship career, but he is not Premier League quality. And people will confuse that with dislike, hate, whatever. It's reality. All I'm bothered about is Manchester United. Oh God, somebody just related into Paul Scholes. Let's move on. Let's talk about Matic. So Matic to Manchester United will happen this week. If you watch my reaction on the drive home from where I was this afternoon, just before the watch along, you'll know where my opinion on Matic comes. And I think my theory on this is that there's been a very clever game played by somebody here. I think if Matic had been announced without what we had yesterday with Fellaini, there'd be more negativity about the Matic signing than there is. I think a lot of United fans have fallen into this Fellaini will leave Manchester United trap for Galatasaray, which I hope I'm wrong on this, but it won't happen. So I think a lot of people are thinking in their head, well, we're going to get Matic, Fellaini's going to go, Matic is better than Fellaini, so it's a good deal for United. That theory, I have no problem with it. It is spot on. And if that's a reality, yeah, let's all go to Nando's. It's a great theory. But Fellaini's going nowhere. He isn't going anywhere. And we're going to sign Matic. For me, that's where the problem comes. We're keeping Fellaini and we're signing Matic. So we're keeping a tall, slow player and we're signing another tall, slow player. For me, that is not what Manchester United should be. Mourinho wants slow, tall players in his midfield. For me, I don't really care if they're tall. That's unfair to say that. I have a problem with them being slow, but the big thing for me is like Herrera in the second half compared to Carrick and Fellaini in the first half. Herrera gets the ball and he gets it moved quickly, and Martial's getting the ball in between the midfield and the attack, and he's able to turn and run at their defence because he's getting the ball quickly. Carrick and Fellaini, if Martial's on the pitch, by the time he gets the ball, he's got 2 or 3 players around him because they've taken a touch before they play the pass. And that's where United are going wrong. So if Mourinho can like his tall midfielders, But if we're not getting the ball quick enough from the midfield to the attack, that is why we are very static and lethargic to watch, like we were in the first half. So I don't really care about height. What I do care about is getting the ball quickly from the defence to the midfield to the attack, because we've got attackers who thrive on quick ball that they can get at the back four, because we've got talented, quick players like Martial, Rashford, Lukaku, Mkhitaryan, even Lingard. When he gets the ball and he's got a bit of space in front of him, he can dribble. But too many times our attackers are getting the ball too slow off people like Fellaini, Carrick. Herrera's good at getting the ball out quick. Pogba's good at getting the ball out quick. Matic, in fairness to Matic, he's got more of a passing range than Fellaini, but he's still a slow player. In fairness to Matic, the minute we sign him, I'll back him, because I back this manager and I want him to be right and I want me to be wrong. But as I said in the reaction, the Matic signing for me, it's uninspiring, it's unexciting, and I think it's a massive, massive risk. But he will be a United player this week. And I think I've got to sort of defend Mourinho on this, that if Matic was our first choice, we would have signed him in June. It's abundantly clear. I don't need to read the Telegraph, the Times, the Guardian, however many people are saying what I've said, what I'm about to say. Matic at best is our third choice centre defensive midfielder this summer. At best third. Possibly fourth, but at best third. If he was our first choice, we would have got him in June. If he was our first choice, then there's massive problems with Manchester United. There's no way in my mind that Jose Mourinho, when he gave the list to Woodward in April, would have been thinking 29-year-old Matic is the centre defensive midfielder I need to sort United out. I don't think that at all. I think he was thinking Nainggolan. I think he was definitely thinking Eric Dyer. Whether you think that's right or wrong, I personally think there's better than Dyer, but I would take Dyer over Matic. Maybe he was thinking Fabinho, but maybe Matic was third choice. I've got concerns. I've got real concerns about Matic. I think he's a big risk. But if we're going to get him, we've got to stop using Fellaini. And that's the positive. We've got to stop using Fellaini in the midfield. Use Fellaini as the last 10-15 minute option. Take Lukaku off. Put him up front. Fine. I can deal with that. But we've got to stop using Fellaini as a centre defensive midfielder or anywhere in our midfield, because it is so statically slow. We've got to move towards Matic and Herrera. Matic, Herrera and Pogba. Matic, Herrera and or Matic and Pogba and Mkhitaryan as a 10. We've got to just forget this whole Fellaini midfield thing. What will Matic bring to Manchester United? He'll bring experience. He'll bring height. He's slow, so that's not going to change. He has got a passing range. He is left-footed. He has got a passing range. He's got a shot. He's not too bad on the ball. He can dribble with the ball, even though it's very slow. But his passing range is far superior to someone like Fellaini. He can hit a 10-15 yard pass. He can switch the play, so that's good. So that's an improvement. At £40 million, it's banter from Chelsea, but this is a banter summer, and we can't afford to wait until. I think if we waited, to be honest, if we waited till the last week of August, we could probably get him for 30, but we can't afford to do that. We need to be getting our signings in now. But 40 million is banter. It's not the centre defensive midfielder I wanted. There are at least 5 I would want. What I wanted personally was somebody who was a little bit more tenacious, a little quicker. I think that would make us a far better team. Hypothetically, it's always going to be Herrera and Pogba. Who would I want with them? You know, Kante, Wanyama, Fabinho. You put one of those 3 with those 2, and I think we've got a fantastic midfield. I think Matic is a risk because he's slow, because he's 29 in August, because 2 years ago Mourinho got the sack because of him and others. He was awful. He was one of the worst players with Hazard. He was a disgrace. Last season, did he have a good season, or was he protected by Kante? Maybe, maybe not. It's a risk. It is a risk. It's the first signing Mourinho's made that I've really felt I'm not happy with it. I think it's a big risk. I'm hoping I'm going to be really wrong. I really want to be wrong. I want us to win the title next year. I want to be back in May saying, look, got it wrong. This is why Mourinho is the best manager in the world. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure at the moment. We'll have to wait and see. I think Matic is a risk that we're going to find out very quickly how much he was protected by Kante and how much decline he's in, and why was he so bad in that season for Mourinho, that Mourinho was subbing him in the first half and really, balling him out. Why does Mourinho believe that he is the answer for Manchester United now? There are question marks, and Mourinho's a fantastic manager, and I hope he's going to get it right. Pogboom says you're never happy. I think that's probably the worst comment I've ever read on the United stand. That is ridiculous, because I'm just giving you my opinion. And it is my opinion. I'm going to take some of yours in a moment. But as I said on the watch along, and as I said when I was driving home tonight, to be honest, you can say I'm never happy, but I'm very, very happy with Manchester United. I think we've got some fantastic players. I've said this a few times. If Pereira and Fosu Mensah were young players that we knew all about, but they were playing for other clubs, and we signed them this summer, we'd be ecstatic. I really do think we're one centre defensive midfielder away from being a really good side. I was trying to see what Mourinho was saying there. So yeah, I am very, very, very happy with where we're going. But I'm honest. I'm honest. I don't think you lot are being honest with yourself. I think some of you are very, very flippant, and I think some of you are bandwagon fans, to be honest, because I find it funny today. There's a lot of consistency in the live comments, but there's also a lot of people saying what a great signing Matic is. Well, 2 weeks ago, we did a video on it, and everybody was saying they don't want him. So some of you must be flippant bandwagon fans to change your mind within 2 weeks. I mean, everybody's an individual. Everyone's got their own right, and I'm not being critical of you, but where were you all? Where were all these pro Matic fans 2 weeks ago? You weren't Matic fans 2 weeks ago. So, at least I and others are being consistent, saying that when he's holding the Manchester United shirt up, that's where the fun and games stop. That's where we back the new signing, and we'll see how he gets on. And if it goes good, fantastic. And if it goes the way we feared, then we'll be the ones saying, I told you so. At least I'm not here stood up going, oh, what a great signing he's going to be. Fantastic. Always wanted Matic, like some people are. I'm not. I never wanted to sign Matic. I don't really rate Matic. If I'm proved wrong, I'll be the happiest fan ever. But we've got a lot to be positive about. But we've also got to remember that this negativity that people call it, or this not happiness that people want to call it, it's not really based at Mourinho, is it? It's not really based at Ed Woodward. It's not really based at negative fans. The ultimate reality is, if you don't like it, and if you are calling it negativity, put your head in a big bucket of ice water, because the reality is, this all comes down to one very simple thing. It comes down to the fact that the manager is not being backed by the owners. He's not being given the funds, because as we know, Perisic, I want Manchester United to sign Perisic. We've been chasing Perisic probably since the end of March. We've probably had the nod from Perisic that he wants to come to Manchester United. We've had the situation that's been rumbling on since the middle of June that he's going to sign. And we pretty much know that Inter Milan have said, you can have him, but we want 50 million. And United have played hardball for 6 weeks. If we sign him now, it's going to apparently be for 48 million. So we've wasted 6 weeks playing hardball for a player that we're going to pay what we should have just played in June, got him on the US tour, and got him embedded into the club. Why are we playing hardball? Because we're run by owners who don't like paying transfer fees, because it's not part of their makeup and they're businessmen. And I don't believe Mourinho's been backed this summer. So in a long-winded way, what I'm saying is, you can call it negativity, you can call it whatever you like, but the reality is, if this manager, Mourinho, who I believe is the right manager for Manchester United, had been backed by our owners, we wouldn't be signing Matic for 40 million anyway. He would be signing Eric Dyer for 60. He would be signing Fabinho for 45. He'd be signing Nainggolan for 50. We haven't got those players that were his first choices, whether it was Eric Dyer, Nainggolan, whatever. We haven't got those players because there's not been an appetite for Manchester United to be aggressive in the way that we sign players. We've been looking for value this summer. We've been looking for value with Perisic, and that's why it's dragging on. We've been looking for value with Morata, and that's why we ended up with Lukaku. We've been looking for value with Eric Dyer, with Nainggolan, with Fabinho, and that's why we've ended up with Matic, who Chelsea don't want. Chelsea don't want Matic anymore. They ideally want him to go to Juventus, but Matic wants to come to Manchester United. £40 million. Banter club. We don't want him anymore. We've just covered. Did they? I mean, I'm going to have to check this. This is the brilliance. This is the brilliance of people who think Matic is a good deal, right? Matic is a good deal, despite us. If you're Chelsea, you're a banter. You're loving this. So Chelsea pay $35 million for Bakayoko, who they want to replace Matic because they don't want Matic anymore. We then pay $40 million for Matic, so they get the player they feel is better than Matic and $5 million. That is good business. So we are overpaying for a player they don't want anymore. Of course they're going to let him go. So our summer's been pretty much poor because Mourinho's not been backed. And when I look at Mourinho, as I'm looking at him now, giving his press conference, I see a man that looks under pressure. I see a man who's not had the backing that he wanted. I see a man that thought he would have the transfers in by the time they went on the US tour, who still doesn't have them in. And I think that puts a lot of people into that sort of uncertain realm, really, that they don't really know what's going on. So there we go. If we've got a moderator on the live comments tonight, please block anybody who says mark out. I'm bored of seeing that comments. It's not constructive. If you don't want to watch the channel anymore, I'm really getting to the point where I will ask the moderators to just block you, whether it's disliking it, whether it's the anti-comments. That's not what we're here for. If you don't like what's been said, comment up on there and I'll absolutely read it out, or phone in on the Skype show. But I'm absolutely bored to death of people disliking the video and people just putting negative stuff in the live comments. I am giving the green light from the moderators now. Anything negative, mark the crybaby, anything like that, block it. Block the lot of them, because that's not what this channel was set up for. It was set up for people to give an opinion, and I'm fed up to the back teeth of seeing people coming on the live comments writing nonsense without actually giving it any sort of thought, and ruining what has been a fantastic channel for 3 years. And I've been consistent throughout the 3 years in giving my opinion, and I will continue to give my opinion, but you will not destroy what this channel is about. And if you don't understand that Manchester United fans have an opinion and it might be different to yours, look, if you're happy that Fellaini's still at our club, and if you're happy that you think Scott McTominay is the future of Manchester United, and if you're happy that Matic in our midfield with Fellaini and Carrick is the way to go, and if you're happy that that first half where it was dull and boring against the League One team is the way to go, sign up. You're going to have a great time. If you want to actually have a grown-up discussion about that, and have a grown-up discussion about the way we're playing and what you feel we need to do to win the title, sign up. This is the place for you. But I'm genuinely, I don't know what everybody else thinks, but the negativity, people call me this negative. This is the channel. This is what this channel's built up on. This channel is built on real opinion. It is built up on a conversation. We're the only channel that on Monday and Thursday opens it up live. None of this pre-recorded stuff, so you can pick the best callers out live. You get to come on up and have your say. We're the only channel that does that. We're the only channel that sits down and goes through your live comments with you. So if you don't like that, off you go. I'm not slating any of the channel. I'm not falling into that trap. But we don't need you. We do not need your negativity. You moan about our negativity. It's not negativity. It's reality. We don't need it. We don't need your abuse. We don't need your this channel's better than that channel. We don't need your crybaby mark. We don't need your hashtag mark out. If you're doing that, you'll be blocked. And you'll have to set up new accounts. And that's going to ruin it for you, isn't it? So stop it. Disappear. Let's see everybody watching go down to the level of people, because I'd much rather have 1,000 people who are grown up and want to talk about Manchester United than 3,500 people where 500 of you are absolute morons. And I honestly stand by that, because this is not my job. I don't do this for a living like the others lot. I'm not bothered about, oh please like me. What should we say to be popular? That's not it. I go to work tomorrow, do my job. I don't give a damn how many people watch. I give a damn in the sense that I enjoy what we do. I enjoy this great community that we have, and I enjoy the interaction. But I don't do it to be reading the live comments and see absolute knobhead comments on there when I'm trying to interact with what is normally very, very good comments. And it is full tonight of idiots. Right, can we talk about football, says Luther Tensgui and the 3-5-2 formation. Gladly, mate, gladly. This is Sunday Night Live. So, the formation, let's talk about that formation. This is very interesting in relation to Manchester United at the moment, because where are we going with the formation? What are we going to do with the formation? And is this the formation we're going to use? First half was the 4-3-3 that we've used since Christmas. And it was very static, as I should copyright that. Second half, we moved to this 5-3-5-2 situation that we've only really done against LA Galaxy, and it works. It works really well because defensively we're good, because we have our wing backs pulling back with the back three, and it works fantastically well. But then we've got two up front, and then we've got a midfield three. So it's almost like we're cheating, because you get. It's like you're playing a back four, but you get wingers with your wing backs. We get the midfield three, but we also get the two up front as well. It is like it's cheating. I really like it. I really like the 3-5-2, and I think it would work really well in the Premier League. But my fear is we will see the 4-3-3 static. But I like the 3-5-2. I like the back three. You could play Bailly, Lindelof, Smalling. I think Smalling's looked quite good in pre-season. Left wing back, probably Blind over Darmian, or even play Lingard, or if we could get Ashley Young fit, I think he'd do that role well. Valencia obviously right wing back, midfield three, Herrera, Pogba, Matic, or get Pereira in there, and up front, Martial and Lukaku, or Rashford and Lukaku. He'll want to fit Lingard in there some point. Jack Kelly, how many questions from the fans have you actually answered tonight? You're just moaning. You've seriously changed, Mark. Well, you made the contribution, Jack, so I've read it out for you, but I totally disagree. I've noticed a hell of a lot over the last few nights that the negativity on the channel on the live comments is ridiculous. I think the dislikes on the videos are absolutely a farce. I don't want to focus on this, but if you want the channel to stop, I'll tell you what, I'm getting that close, and this is genuine. I really enjoy talking about Manchester United. What I don't enjoy is seeing a video that's been live for 20 minutes with, virtually the same dislikes as likes. I'm absolutely getting fed up of it. This is my spare time. I don't need to do it. I really don't need to do it. It is not important to me, other than the fact I enjoy interacting with you, and I think the United stands alone as a real fan channel that's independent. But this constant negativity from the live comments is doing my head in, and I'm going to look at it now. We're nearly at 300 dislikes. This has never happened before, and it is constant. Where is it coming from? What is the point? It's just... Well, you can call people trolls, but there's 3,000 people watching it. So if you like it, like the video, and kill the trolls. Let them have 300 dislikes, but let's have 2,000 likes. If you like the channel, back the channel, and let's start fighting against these people who are making it a negative environment, because I don't really enjoy looking down and seeing 400 dislikes on a video, because it makes me think, why am I doing it? Why do we do the United Stand? What's the bloody point anymore if people really don't like it? Because 400 dislikes is quite a proportion in relation to how many people like it. So why are you watching it? Why are you wasting my time? As I said, we started this channel, we'd get like 100 people watching. There was way less comments, but it was much more enjoyable than it is at the moment, because it was genuinely 100 people who wanted to watch the channel and talk about Manchester United. And the enjoyment is fastly evaporating for me, because I don't understand why people watch if all they want to do is write negative stuff in there. Of course you're going to disagree with what I want to talk about. That's the point. But put on there what you disagree about, and I can interact with that, and I can read your comments. I cannot read comments like crybaby Mark, hashtag Mark out. All you do is moan. I can't read that comment. I've read them 3 times. But what is the point in it? Don't watch the show. Let me have a live comments of people that I can interact with. Which is why I implore moderators, if you see Mark out, crybaby Mark or anything like that, just block them. If that's what they want to write, block them off, and then I can actually read, like I used to be able to read, a lot of good comments. Right, Connor Richardson says, Fellaini is a goat. Have you seen how good he is? No, he's rubbish. I'm not going to read that. Sorry, I genuinely do read people's comments out, but I'm not going to read anything about Fellaini. He's atrocious as a footballer. Fortune Chorby says Fabinho to Manchester United. Mate, Fortune, I know we've been in there together, brother, and it's not going to happen. It's going to happen. It's not going to happen. Good. Manchester is red. Is gone. Good. I was just about to do it myself. You know, for all these people who are saying they're just winding you up, this, that and the other, I think what you really don't realise is this is not my job. I do this for enjoyment. If I don't enjoy it, I'll stop doing it. So stop telling me to calm down. Stop telling me you're being trolled. Stop telling me to, like, you know, not get in a bad mood. I'll do what I bloody well like, because I do this in my spare time. I don't do it to be messed around on the live comments or have 450 bloody dislikes on a video. I'll just stop. I've stopped before. I'll stop again. But what we will do is we'll root them out and we'll block the lot of them, and hopefully we'll get back to where we want to be. Because I tell you what, I would love to just have it where it is just people talking about United, who want to talk about United, who get that it's all about opinion. And it might take us a few weeks to get there, but we will get there. And as Lynn says, just block them. Block the people who are negative. We've got moderators on there now. Block them. Block the lot. Camel says, did you enjoy the width we got in the second half with Fosu Mensah and Demi Mitchell? I think that is one of the biggest things from that second half. The width really was fantastic, and that's what I like with the 3-5-2 as well. Really good. How long we'll keep it is up for everybody else, isn't it? I just do not know. I do not know. It's the way I would go though. Who you prefer? Oh, okay. API. This is a good comment. He says, "Who you prefer? Eric Dyer, who only passes backwards and is slower than Matic and Fellaini combined." That's not true. He's not. You'd have to go some to be slower than Fellaini. David Carey, if Pogba gets injured, what a great midfield we have in Matic, Fellaini and Carrick. Yeah, that is the problem. Well, you have Herrera as well, but that's the problem. I think a lot of people have fallen into this positivity around Matic because, oh, we're selling Fellaini. We're not selling Fellaini. It was the worst bit of... I don't know whether United helped it along just to make us feel more positive about Matic, to be honest, but there was never anything in Fellaini going. Fellaini won't leave Manchester United. In fact, Fellaini's going to get a new contract because he's only got a year left. Oh, here we go. Let me read that. Oh, it's gone. Marcus says, calm down. This is a brilliant comment from Jordan Coffey. Just stop with the negativity on Twitter. I don't control United Stand Twitter. How many times do people need to be told? I don't control it. At Mark Goldbridge is mine. I have a day job. I don't have time to tweet on Twitter. I don't control at United Stand MUFC on Twitter. So shut up. Mark, do you think 3-5-2 is the way forward for United? Says Saban Mahmood. Yes, I do. Shane Clemenson says, do you think McTominay and Mitchell have a chance of getting in the first team squad next season? I think Mitchell is streets ahead of McTominay. I think McTominay is championship standard at best. I don't think Mitchell will be a United player, but I think he's very good. I don't think he'll be United quality. Ronaldo's third catch says, I'm not watching United next season if we don't play 3-5-2. Jose's comments after the match about Matic, by the way, I'm waiting on news about Matic. He really wants to come to Manchester United, and the number 31 jersey is free. He's coming to United. I think it'll be announced tomorrow. Hashtag stop being so negative, Mark. That's enough to get blocked, thanks. Look, it's not negative. It's not negativity. It is my opinion, and if you watch the shows regularly, you know I believe that negativity is actually positivity. I think those people who call it negativity are actually lacking ambition. I prefer to think that the things that I talk about and the people have concerns about are because they realise that Manchester United are so close to being a very good team again, but we let ourselves down by bad players being part of the squad or bad signings. People who call that negativity, well, let's stay how we are and we're never going to get, we'll finish 6th again. We have to sign players, of course we do, and those signings need to be better than what they have been. Otherwise, you could argue we're worse than last season. Lukaku replacing Zlatan and Rooney. Is that enough? 1 player for 2? Lindelof coming in, well, Rojo, who's injured, is that a massive improvement? We've not signed anybody else yet. So I could argue that I think there's a very good reason for United fans to be a bit upset at the moment, because arguably we're in a worse situation than we were last season. Jack Kelly, Mark, there's never going to be a perfect comment section. People will make new accounts. It's up to you to choose the good and ignore the bad. Pogba CDM, says Jake Kelly. I don't know about that. Andrew Legart says, do you think Romero will be out Champions League goalkeeper? I really hope we don't do that. De Gea's the best goalkeeper in the world. Play him. Matthew McFadden, everyone here from all sides of the spectrum is getting way too worked over Matic. Let's just get back to the football talk. Martial has been great, works well playing next to Lukaku in a 3-5-2. Great comment, Matthew. I think Martial in that 3-5-2 situation or playing up front is a. We've seen the best of him. I still think he's a very good left winger, by the way, but I think we've seen the best of him. This comment may cause controversy. Glenn Walker, hate to say it, but McTominay looks a more effective player than Pereira in this tour. What's happened to the live comments? What has happened to it? Where has the common sense gone? McTominay looks more effective than Pereira. Jesus Christ. That's got to be the biggest banter comment of the night. Jim Lee, bye. You're going to have to set up a new account. Oh, this is the one. I've got to bring this out. I've got to bring this out. You might laugh at this because as much as I get passionate about stuff, you might laugh at it. So this is the biggest banter. I've used this word a lot tonight. This is the biggest banter nonsense I've heard all day. Matic frees Pogba. As I said on the watch along, who's Paul Pogba? Is he Nelson Mandela and bloody Matic has got the key to release him from prison? What is this myth about Matic releasing Pogba? Why is Matic going to release Pogba? Michael Carrick played very well for Manchester United between November and the Liverpool game in January. Why does Matic release Pogba but Carrick didn't last year? Why does Herrera not release Pogba? Why is Matic releasing Pogba? What is this myth? Who tweeted it out that somebody retweeted it and suddenly it became a thing that Matic releases Pogba? The biggest nonsense I've ever read. We don't need Matic to release Pogba. We need Matic because we haven't got a centre defensive midfielder. Matic doesn't release Pogba. Herrera doesn't release Pogba. Carrick didn't release Pogba. Mourinho releases Pogba. We don't need to sign Matic to release Pogba, is my point. It's a myth. It's a total idiot comment to make people think Matic is a good signing because he releases Pogba. We could release Pogba now. We could play McTominay and Herrera because people love McTominay. We could play Herrera and Fosu Mensah. We could play Herrera and Twansibi. We could play Herrera and Carrick and release Pogba. Matic doesn't release Pogba. Mourinho releases Pogba by playing a midfield 3 that just basically says, Paul, you don't need to bother about your defensive responsibility. You're just an attacking midfielder. Signing Matic does not release Pogba. We can do that anyway. I think Pereira is fantastic, by the way. I really do. Really, really do. Mark is guy. I'm going to give you a high five. He says McTominay could release Pogba. I know exactly where you're coming from. I haven't got an agenda against McTominay. I'm just honestly telling you that he will not be a Manchester United player. I don't know why people have suddenly lost the concept of the United stand, that it's about opinion. You know, tomorrow night at 8 o'clock you can Skype in and have your opinion. And when you have your opinion, you know what? This is a novel concept that we've been doing for 3 years. I won't say, that's idiotic, you're a plonker, get off the show. I will let you have your say. Because as long as you're not abusive, you will have your say. Matic is the new Nainggolan. Yeah, okay, that's the end of that sentence, Mark. How many players do you think we will get, Mark? I I think we're going to get Matic, and we'll probably get Perisic, and that will be it. And to be honest with you, Lindelof, Lukaku, Matic, Perisic, if I'm being honest, that is not a good summer. It isn't a good summer. Simply because I think we could have got so much better than that. The Express says we'll offer 90 million for Bale. I suppose there's a slim chance that we don't get Perisic, and we could go for a marquee signing. I think we need a marquee signing. I think United fans need a marquee signing. I think Manchester United need a marquee signing, because I don't think the summer has been the summer that it was meant to be. But whether we'll get one or not, I don't know. Hi Mark, says Ewan Gordon. Hi Mark. Hi Ewan. Best partner for Lukaku, I think Martial at the moment, bagger boy. Do you think anyone will go in this window, says Riley365? Well, Rooney's gone, Janusai's gone. Do I think anyone else will go? I don't know. I think that's a fantastic question. I think there's deadwood in this squad that needs to go if we want to win the title, and I would include Darmian in there, Phil Jones, Ashley Young, Fellaini obviously. But whether they go, well, Darmian won't go because we're short at left back. Phil Jones doesn't look like he's going to go. Ashley Young's not going to go because he's injured, and I don't think Fellaini will go. So I think this summer in many ways has been a disappointment, not just because of the signings not being up to scratch, but also we've still retained all this deadwood. We seem unable to get rid of it. Rooney's gone. I never really classed Rooney as deadwood. I think Rooney just needed to go because he wasn't Wayne Rooney anymore. But the deadwood survives another summer. James B says, great show tonight. Thanks, James. It's appreciated. I think I've struggled tonight with it. So if you have enjoyed it, please do drop a like. I want to thank my moderators tonight. United in the Stands is in there. Mad Marcus is in there. Beck's in there as well. I know it's been challenging, so thanks to that. Thanks for everybody who's positive about this channel. Even those people who don't agree with what I say, of which probably 90% of you don't agree. But at least you do grab the concept of the channel. We're going through a difficult time at the moment, to be honest. I'm baffled by the fact that we get 400 dislikes. It is weird. It is very weird. It is a new phenomenon. I suspect I know where it's coming from, and it's coming from another United channel, but we've been through that before. Success breeds hate. You drive the channel, you make it successful. If I'm doing anything wrong, then you need to put that in the live comments, and not the live comments, you need to put that in, message me on Twitter at Mark Goldbridge, and let me know. But O'Neill Hamilton just said Mark shows no loyalty to players. Look, I don't know. We are a global channel, and I love all Manchester United fans wherever you're from, but I don't know whether it's lost in translation, or you just don't get sarcasm, or you are just very basic in the way that you think about things, whether you're from the UK or anything else. But I think it's been said so many times that my main loyalty lies with Manchester United. I'm not a sheep. I don't jump because Mourinho tells me to jump. Mourinho's a fantastic manager. I don't put my head up Scott McTominay's bottom, or Fellaini's bottom, or Lingard's bottom just because they're wearing a Manchester United shirt. I'm not blinded by that. I've seen plenty of players wear a United shirt who are not good enough, and I'll be honest about that. I want Manchester United to be Premier League champions and challenge for the Champions League, and I look at some of our players at the moment and I think we'll struggle to challenge for for third place. So I'll be honest about that. I'm not disloyal to players. I nearly swore. I absolutely love the likes of Herrera, Eric Bailly, Martial, Rashford, Pogba. I think they have the mentality, Valencia, and the passion to wear and the talent to wear a Manchester United shirt. I don't blindly love somebody just because they wear the shirt. So I'm sorry if you are just so blind that just because they put a Manchester United shirt on, that's it for you. Well done to you. I'm glad you live that life that is so literal. But I don't, and many Manchester United fans don't. What matters to me is Manchester United and where they should be. And maybe I am a bit ruthless, and maybe I'm a bit harsh, but I've only got the intentions of the club at heart, and that's what I want. I want us to be the best. And I'm sorry, if you want to be the best, you've got to be ruthless, and there will be deadwood that's burnt along the way. So sorry if you don't like that. it's not the channel for you. It's as simple as that. It's not the channel for you. If you want happy clappy, everybody's happy, this is great, McTominay's going to be the next Michael Carrick, then it's not the channel for you. If you want to interact with the United fans and let's do it properly and make it and do this channel properly and phone in tomorrow night and have your say and get in the comments and have a bit of debate and fun, which it has been for 3 years, welcome. You're very welcome. It's your channel. That's what it's all about. So thanks for everybody who's watched tonight. We will be back tomorrow morning with a transfer show, of course. Chris Cheetham, are your frustrations on this video due to a poor transfer window? To be honest, I'm not in a good mood today. I'm not in a good mood about Manchester United. I'll be honest with you, it's abundantly clear. You should all know that. I think this transfer window has been a joke. I think it's been an absolute joke. I think we expected so much from it. I don't really want to say this because it makes me come across as spoiled, and I've never been spoiled as a United fan, although we should be spoiled for all the money that we've got. But I genuinely, when we won the Europa League in May, I was almost 100% Griezmann was going to come, and I think we were right to think that. I thought people like Fabinho, Aubameyang, I thought these top quality players were definitely on the table for United, and I still believe that they were if we had the appetite for it. I think to come out of it with Lukaku, Matic and Lindelof, and hopefully Perisic, I ain't got anything against any of those players, but I really do think it's the sort of signings that Everton make, and it's not the sort of signings that a Championship, a Premier League title winning side makes. I hope I'm going to be wrong. I really want to be wrong. I really want to be wrong. But to castigate and you know, crucify me and United fans who honestly come out and say that they feel that, I think is totally wrong, because it's an opinion. It's an opinion. I want to be wrong about it. I want United to win the title. I want Mourinho to be stood there and go, look, I spent very little money on players that were really quite dividing players, and I won the title. I'm the best. I want that to happen more than anything. And it can happen, but it doesn't mean that at this point I'm not frustrated by this window. And a lot of my frustration, to be honest, isn't aimed at Ed Woodward. It isn't aimed at Mourinho. It is aimed at our owners, who I just feel haven't backed our manager. I really don't think they have. And that's the disappointing thing. Okay, thanks everybody for watching. I'm just thinking of a comment to sort of I'm not going to ride to it. I really enjoy doing this channel, is what I'm going to say. I think every one of your voices that are true and aren't here just to cause trouble are valid. That's why we do it. And you know what? No matter what, we will carry on doing it. Whilst this channel grows and whilst people watch it and enjoy it, we'll carry on doing it. It doesn't matter how many people dislike the video. It really doesn't matter. It's how many people watch the video. It's how many people who help the channel grow. So you can dislike it as much as you want. It really doesn't matter. It makes no difference to how the video ranks on YouTube. It makes no difference to how many more subscribers we get. I suppose I fall into the trap of getting frustrated about it because I believe in it, and I believe in all your views, and I believe in everything that we try to do that nobody else does. The fact that we do everything live, the fact that we let you come on live and have your say is risky but real, because you get real opinion. We'll continue to strive to do that, and I think everybody in the live comments who is basically saying, you know, love this channel, carry on doing it, don't let the haters win. We won't let them win. Maybe I fell into that little trap there of frustration, but we won't let them win. You know, I can see the dislikes going up now. I couldn't get, you know, realistically, does it really matter? I think people probably look at it and go, why? My reaction to that is that every one of you who has disliked the video really hasn't got a clue what Manchester United's all about, and that's my opinion, not the United stand. I really don't think you do, because I think if you opened up your ears and listened to what people are saying and I'm saying, this is all about positivity. This is about Manchester United getting back to where they are. You lot are happy with Fellaini in the midfield and you lot think Scott McTominay's a midfielder for Manchester United. Well, I suggest you educate yourself in Manchester United and football, because realistically, if you want Fellaini in your midfield, we'll be battling for 5th again. And that has been proved over the last 4 years. It's not even my opinion. It's true. If you don't like it, you don't like it. You know what? You need to wait. You need to grow up and mature a little bit, because you know that's life, folks. It's not all a fantasy road with lollipop street signs and gingerbread houses. Reality is reality, and Fellaini is crap, and he needs to leave Manchester United, or needs to be a sub who comes on as a number 10 and gets in the opposition's box. He's not a midfielder, and if we play him as a midfielder, we'll be battling for 5th. Said it for 3 years in a row, and I'll be right again. Thanks everybody. A big shout out for everybody who has been positive, and for everybody who's wishing I die and stuff like that. It's not going to stop me doing the channel. Mwah. Speak to you all later.